Man, I am running on fumes right now. 3 cups of cold coffee and my eyes are literally burning. But I have to talk about what just went down in Port Charles because my brain is exploding. So Jason Morgan missed. Yeah, you heard me right. Stone Cold Jason Morgan actually missed a sniper shot. I didn't even think that was physically possible in the GH universe. But it happened. And now everything is falling apart. Just a complete and total disaster. Let me break it down because the chaos is just off the charts. So Jason was up on that rooftop. He had his long-range sniper weapon all set up. The target was Ross Cullum, the dirty WSB director who has been making Britt Westbourne's life a living hell. Jason told Sonny Corinthos he was going to take Cullum out before leaving for Canada. It was supposed to be a clean hit, but Jack Brennan was right there in the WSB field office with Cullum, and they were arguing. Brennan was grilling Cullum about the 5 Poppies project, just getting right in his face. And Jason is looking through the scope, trying to get a clear shot, but Brennan kept moving, and the distance was far, like really far. And maybe Jason was stressed, or maybe the wind shifted, I don't know. But he pulled the trigger, and he missed. He actually missed, and Cullum, the guy is a snake, but he is not stupid. He heard that glass shatter. He knew instantly what was happening. Someone just tried to blow his head off. And Cullum is not the kind of guy to just hide under a desk and wait for the cops. No, he went full tyrant mode. He is not going to let Jason escape. Not a chance in hell. So Cullum immediately ordered a massive manhunt. He wants Jason Morgan found, and he wants him dead or alive. Probably dead. Because Cullum knows Jason is a massive threat to his cold fusion program and his entire corrupt operation. So now Jason is a wanted man. Again. I swear, this guy spends half his life running from the law or the WSB or some crazy villain. But this time, it feels different. Because Britt is involved. Britt is literally fighting for her life. She has Huntington's disease. And Cullum has been holding her medication hostage, forcing her to complete her crazy father Faison's final project. It is so sick. And Britt was already losing her mind waiting for Jason. Let's talk about Britt for a second. She was in her room above Bobby's, frantically packing her bags, just throwing clothes into a suitcase. She was already rattled, because Jocelyn Jax had just climbed through her window and started asking questions. And then Rocco Falconeri showed up at her door. Poor Rocco. He just wanted a favor, and Britt felt so guilty because she had promised to go to his game. But she knew she was going to skip town, so she is dealing with all this guilt. And then the worst news hits. Pascal, that creepy goon who works for Cullum, he found out that Marco Rios stole 2 vials of Britt's medication. Yeah, Marco actually pulled it off. He stole the meds from the safe at Windermere so Lucas Jones could reverse engineer them. Brad Cooper was pushing Lucas so hard to do it, just begging him to save Britt's life. But Pascal noticed the vials were gone, and he told Cullum, so the walls were already closing in on Britt. She knew Cullum was going to come after her. And then Jason shows up, probably out of breath, telling her that the assassination failed. He missed the shot. Cullum is alive, and the entire WSB is coming for them. So they have to run right now. No time to pack anything else. No time to say proper goodbyes to everyone. They are forced to flee to Canada. That was always the backup plan. Go to Canada. Hide out. Get the meds reverse engineered. Try to survive. But now it is not just a secret escape. It is a desperate run for their lives. With Cullum's agents breathing down their necks, I can't even imagine the panic Britt is feeling. Her hands shaking. Her heart pounding, knowing that if they get caught, she doesn't just go to jail. She dies, because without those meds, the Huntingtons will take her. But before Jason leaves, before he gets on whatever secret boat or plane he has lined up, he has to do the hardest thing in the world. He has to say goodbye to his son, Danny Morgan. And man, this scene just ripped my heart out. I am literally tearing up just typing this. Because Danny has been through so much. He just got his dad back. And now Jason is leaving again. Jason went to the Quartermain mansion. He had to see Danny. He couldn't just vanish into the night without saying something. So he finds Danny, and you can see the weight of the world on Jason's shoulders. He looks at his boy, this kid who's growing up so fast, and Jason tells him the truth. Or at least part of it. He tells Danny that he has to leave town for a while. That things went wrong, and he has to go away. Danny is just stunned. You can see the confusion and the fear in his eyes. He asks Jason why. Why does he always have to leave? And Jason doesn't have a good answer. Because how do you explain to a kid that you just missed a sniper shot at a corrupt government agent and now you are fleeing to Canada with a doctor who is being blackmailed with life-saving drugs? You can't. So Jason just looks at Danny and he gives him this intense, heartbreaking speech. He tells Danny that he has to live well. He tells him to be a good person, to be strong, and then he says the words that just broke me. He tells Danny to become a real man, and to protect the family. Protect the family. Jason is putting so much pressure on this kid, but he doesn't have a choice. Because Jason knows he might not come back. Cullum is dangerous? The WSB is powerful. Jason is walking into a nightmare, so he needs to know that Danny is going to step up, and Danny just breaks down. He starts crying, and I don't blame him. He is just a kid. He loves his dad, and he is terrified. Danny is crying and asking Jason if he is ever going to see him again, and Jason can't promise him anything. He can't say he will be back next month, because he doesn't know. He just hugs Danny, this tight, desperate hug, and it is so raw. You can feel the pain radiating off the screen. Danny sobbing into his dad's jacket, not knowing if this is the last time he will ever smell his dad's cologne or feel his arms around him. It is just so unfair to Danny. He has already lost so much. His mom, Sam, is gone. He is dealing with all this grief, and now his dad is running off to be a fugitive again. And Jason had been trying to set things up. He was talking to Alexis Davis, trying to make her Danny's guardian. Alexis was even arguing with Tracy Quartermain about it. Tracy was probably judging everyone as usual, but Alexis genuinely wants to protect Danny. She went to Diane Miller to find out if Jason officially signed the guardianship papers, because Alexis knows Jason's lifestyle is a ticking time bomb, and Alexis has her own mess to deal with. She is taking care of Scout, but Scout is trapped in this weird situation with Willow Kane. Willow is controlling Scout's access to everyone, while Drew Kane is literally paralyzed in a bed, drugged by Willow and Jen Sidwell. It is a whole other nightmare. But Danny needs stability. He needs someone who isn't going to pull a gun on a WSB director and then flee the country. And Alexis is trying to be that person. But right now in that moment at the Quartermain mansion, Danny doesn't care about guardianship papers. He just wants his dad. So Jason leaves. He walks away from his crying son, and he meets up with Britt, and they run. They head for the Canadian border, hoping they can slip through before Cullum's dragnet closes around them. And I am just sitting here, staring at my screen, wondering how it all went so wrong so fast. Jason Morgan missing a shot. It changes everything. It means he is human. It means he makes mistakes. And in his line of work, mistakes get people killed. Cullum is not going to stop. He is a madman. He is probably tearing the WSB office apart right now, screaming at his agents, demanding Jason's head on a platter. And Jack Brennan is right in the middle of it. Brennan was in the crossfire. He saw the bullet shatter the glass. He knows Jason was the shooter. And Brennan is already playing a dangerous game. He has been grilling Cullum about the 5 poppies. And he is involved with Carly. Carly is hiding Valentine Cassadine, who is also a fugitive. Port Charles is literally overflowing with people on the run right now. And what about Lucas? Lucas is stuck at the hospital. Brad is yelling at him to reverse engineer the meds. But Pascal knows the meds are gone. So Cullum knows Marco stole them, which means Cullum is going to come looking for Marco. And Jen Sidwell is hosting this insane dinner party at Wandamere, trying to unite Marco and Lucas's families. But how can they have a dinner party when Marco is marked for death by the WSB? It is a disaster waiting to happen. Ava Jerome warned Lucas. She told him he was walking into a trap, and she was right. Everyone is walking into a trap right now, but my mind just keeps going back to Danny. That poor kid, standing in the massive Quartermain mansion, tears streaming down his face, watching his dad walk out the door. Jason told him to protect the family. But who is going to protect Danny? Michael is too busy getting caught naked in the gatehouse with Jacinda Bracken. Olivia is screaming about that. Tracy is complaining. The Quartermains are a mess. Danny is all alone in this emotional void. And Britt is terrified. She is running for her life. And she doesn't even have her full supply of meds. She is relying on Lucas to figure out the formula. And relying on Jason to keep her alive. But Jason just proved he isn't invincible. He missed the shot. He failed. And now they are both paying the price. I don't know how they are going to survive in Canada. It's cold. It's huge. And Cullum has resources everywhere. They are going to have to stay completely off the grid. No phones. No credit cards. Just cash and fake IDs. Jason is used to this. He has been on the run 1,000,000 times. But Britt is a doctor. She is used to nice things. High-end hotels. Room service. Now she is going to be sleeping in cheap motels. Always looking over her shoulder. Jumping at every shadow. Because she knows Cullum's assassins could be right behind them. And the guilt is going to eat Jason alive. He hates leaving his kids. He hates making them cry. But he always chooses the mission. He always chooses to save the person in front of him. And right now, that person is Britt. He made a promise to Sonny that he would take Cullum out. And he broke that promise. Sonny is probably going to lose his mind when he finds out. Sonny just hired Rick Lansing as his criminal defense lawyer. Fired Diane from that role. Carly warned Sonny not to trust Rick. But Sonny never listens. So Sonny is vulnerable right now. And Jason isn't there to protect him. Everything is fractured. The whole town is falling apart because Jason missed one shot. It is crazy how one tiny moment can change the entire trajectory of so many lives. If Jason had hit his target, Cullum would be dead. Britt would be free. Jason could stay in Port Charles. Danny wouldn't be crying. But no, the bullet missed. And now we have a massive manhunt, a desperate escape to Canada, and a broken-hearted kid left behind. I need to go splash some cold water on my face. This episode was just too much. The acting was incredible. Steve Burton really sold that goodbye scene. You could see the heartbreak in his eyes. And the kid who plays Danny, wow. Give him an Emmy right now. Those tears were real. You could feel the devastation. I just hope Jason makes it back someday. But right now, with Cullum on the warpath, it is not looking good. Not looking good at all. I will keep updating as soon as I hear more spoilers. But for now, I am just going to sit here and process this absolute train wreck. Jason Morgan missed. I still can't believe it. And let's really think about Ross Cullum for a second. The guy is a total psychopath. He is the head of the WSB. He has unlimited power, unlimited agents, satellites, tracking devices. He can find anyone anywhere. And Jason just pissed him off in the worst way possible. Cullum is not going to just send a few guys to look for Jason. He is going to mobilize an entire army. He probably has checkpoints set up at every border crossing, every airport, every train station. Jason and Britt are going to have to pull off a miracle just to get out of New York State, let alone into Canada.